Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
You're joining Hazel and Marion when they're hungry.
It's episode 27.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're keeping track because I have no idea.
I'm not.
Oh,
I
okay.
just tried to remember where I'm at editing, and I'm like, I'm editing 25.
I don't even remember what we talked about last week.
So yes, welcome back.
And we're going to start off with the
Lucky dip.
Lucky dip. I almost forgot what it's called as well. I was just like the questions where we ask things.
Yes. All right, I will shake and you can dip. All right.
Oh my God. Wait,
Oh, there's a lot of questions
they're all
left.
tied together.
Oh, I think that's
Okay.
a me question.
How do you feel about food whitewashing? What does
That is a me
mean?
question. Basically, when white people take Asian food or non-English food
Yeah.
and then go, okay, this is our version of it.
Oh, yes. I see that on TikTok all the time.
Yeah.
How do I feel about it? I don't like it. Every time I look up a recipe on TikTok, I always try to find something a little bit more authentic.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, it's one of those things where I understand why it's done,
Yes.
but also pay some respect.
Well, I
Have
some respect. I just thought about, have you seen is it the English or the Irish version of Chinese food? Have you seen that?
Is that like a TikTok thing? But
No,
I
it's like if you order Chinese takeaway in like the UK or Ireland.
yeah.
This is their version of Chinese food. Because like when you think about Chinese food here, like obviously
Ours is quite authentic.
we have a lot of Chinese.
Yeah.
Like we're a big Chinese community in Melbourne, especially. But like probably outside Melbourne, like you'll go to is like what honey chicken, lemon chicken,
That's like in every food court. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
yeah.
It's like honey
But it's
chicken, lemon
still
chicken,
kind of Chinese.
black bean.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's still kind of
Yeah,
Chinese.
it's still
right?
kind of Chinese, but it's not for the Chinese palate.
Yeah, so I can't remember. Don't quote me if it was English or Irish, but one of them. So they get Chinese foods or like fried rice, and they have like chips with it with like gravy. It's all in the same like container.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, and that's like
I
their
think that's
version.
gross.
Yeah, it's not Chinese food at all.
No, there's no such thing as chips in Chinese food.
No, you have like prawn crackers. That's your chips.
That's your chips.
So that's what I thought about when you explained what whitewashing was, because I think that's criminal.
That is criminal. That's punishable by death.
Yes, definitely. But then I remember I saw another TikTok where some other city, probably here in Australia, they have an Irish Chinese take, or like these Irish people open up like their version of like.
I think that's here in Melbourne. I think
I'm almost tempted to try it to see
Yeah,
how bad it is.
yes, I think it's I don't know. I think it's in a bag or something. Like in a
Yeah,
paper bag.
Probably.
And there's like or whatever chips and stuff in there.
yeah.
And I was like,
If it's in Melbourne, I'm tempted to
I
try
think it's
it.
like somewhere in St Kilda is where I
Of course it is. That's where all the backpackers are. Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, when I wrote this question, I was thinking, because I'm pretty sure I saw like a lot of reels and TikTok
Yeah.
on food,
Yeah.
and like because my current feed is semi-Filipino,
Yeah.
so it's giving me a lot of these Filipino recipes, but not by Filipino people, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't like that.
No, I don't know what you mean. Even when I was in Spain, so I think like 2 weeks into my trip, I was craving Asian food. So I must have been in like Cordoba or something, and I was looking up like Grab what takeaway food they have for Asian. They have Chinese food, but it wasn't Chinese food. It was better than the chips with the rice, but I still couldn't justify paying however much euros it was for this fake.
Chinese
food.
food, yeah.
I just wanted like proper Chinese food.
Proper Chinese food, yeah. And I think like a while back we spoke about fusion.
Yeah, fusion I can accept.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
There's a difference because when it's a fusion, you got to advertise it as fusion.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't say this is Chinese
Chinese
food or
food,
this is
yeah.
Indian food
Yeah.
and then give me
Some weird variety.
some weird variety of it. It's hard to make Indian food fancy or Chinese food too fancy, I guess.
Yeah.
Like there's a level of Chinese food that's fancy where you start introducing lobster. That's
Or
like
like shark fin soup. or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
that's the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
But you can't make honey chicken or lemon chicken.
No, you can't make spring rolls fancy.
You can't make spring rolls fancy.
no.
It's just not. It's
Yeah.
not meant to be. It's
Yeah.
poor people food.
Yeah, which I
Like-
love because I'm poor.
Yeah, and they're tasty. Do you know that dim sims
Is Australian?
is Australian?
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't even know that because I remember when I came to Australia for the first time, I had like a dim sum, and I just thought it's like normal Asian culture.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But then I was
'Cause we were
wondering,
like,
did
what?
we eat that in the Philippines?
No.
Oh.
Well, like in the Philippines, we had shawmai.
Shawarma, yes. That's why I thought dim sum was the
Yeah,
same
that's
thing.
why I thought it was like
Yeah.
the same vibe because you
Yeah.
could have it steamed or like we
Fried,
don't have
yeah.
fried, but like
Yeah.
steamed. And I was like, okay, cool. This is very Asian. And then
Yeah.
I'd look at the packaging and it had the Oriental font.
Yeah. Yes.
Terrible.
They love using that font.
Then probably a couple of years ago, I found out it was an Australian invention.
Yeah, it is.
And I was like, this is fucked.
But it's delicious. And I'll happily eat
It
it.
is delicious. And the one in
I don't
like,
even know what's in it, but it's delicious.
you don't know, it's like a meat pie.
I don't need to know. Meat pies, you can kind of taste a little bit of meat sometimes. If you
Depends
get like
which
the
brand you
chunky
get.
steak ones.
Yeah. You get the chunky
The
ones. And
mince
you go,
ones, I don't know what that is.
no, you don't know what that is. You'd have it with fish and chips. And I always thought
Yeah.
it was a weird, because like there was a time when fish and chips were run by like Greek people.
Yeah,
And now it's kind of run by
Asian.
Asians.
Yes.
And I thought it was like, oh, okay, this is kind of the Asians kind of
I
adding
thought that
their,
too. I literally thought the same thing.
their version, like
Yeah.
their thing into Australian or English
Yeah.
food. And it's not. It is literally to appease the white Australians.
I didn't know that. But
And I can't, like, yeah, dim sums are made not for us, not for you and me. They're made
No.
for white people.
no, but they taste great.
They
and
taste great.
I'll happily accept the dim sum. Maybe that's the whitewashing that I will accept is a dim sum.
Do you accept whitewashing of Filipino food?
No, because Filipino food is so basic.
It shouldn't be. It should
It
be
shouldn't
so
be
easy.
whitewashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen people like make a version of adobo, and I'm like, this is
Like, yeah,
fucked.
like I don't know why people overcomplicate that. Like, it's just
because
three
it's too simple for them. They can't handle the fact that
But
it's just
that's
like
what
3
makes it
ingredients. Yeah,
good. It's just
soy sauce,
simple.
it's vinegar, it's pork,
Sugar.
sugar,
Yeah.
the peppercorns,
Yeah.
and
That's it. That's all I can
no
think of.
bay leaves.
Oh, yeah, Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll see people start adding like the most random shit to it, and I'm like, no, that's not it.
It's just inauthentic in that sense. And it's not even fusion. It's just whitewash version. I know like whitewashing, they do it for like spicy foods. So like,
Don't get me started.
yeah, but you can't handle spice.
We recently went to a place, and it was like Collingwood.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's Asian.
Okay. Yeah.
Chinese. Yeah, it's Chinese, and there was like a chili mark on the
And it was one chili.
1 or 2.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought, okay, I'll get that. And there was no spice
Mm.
because I knew deep down, I know who their audience are, especially
Yeah.
on Smith Street.
Yeah.
And I knew that the spice here is not enough to make me sweat.
Okay.
And it wasn't.
Well, there you go.
I was like,
You're
yeah.
good.
But then if I was to go to Chinatown and I see
Oh,
even
that's
one,
different. Yeah, even one spice for me.
I'm like, this is it.
When I went to like Sichuan in China, I had hot pot mild, and my stomach hurt for 6 days after.
Mild.
Mild.
Yeah, I had a hot pot here mild because Vincent was like, oh, you'll be fine. It's just mild.
Nah.
I was drowning in my own sweat.
Mild here is okay. Mild in China. Oh my gosh.
Have I told you that story?
No, but I know you sweat when you.
Yeah.
Eat
So
spice.
early in the day when me and
Yeah.
Vincent were like dating,
Yeah.
he took me to Hot Pot
Yes, I feel like I have heard the story, but go on.
and he was like, oh, we'll get mild. And I was like, sure, I can handle mild. Like, but I said to him, are you sure? He goes, yeah, it's just mild. Okay. And I start like going for it. And then all of a sudden I'm just like sweating bullets, like
Yeah.
drenched in
Yeah.
sweat. And then Vincent's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And he's like, but it's mild. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, your
it's
spice tolerance
spicy.
is really bad.
And then 10 minutes later, I'm like trying to survive this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, we got to get your suit changed. You look like you're going to die.
Yeah.
Because I was like pouring.
Yeah. Did you have a
Pouring.
stomachache after?
No. So
Okay.
he called one of the waiter.
Yeah.
And he was like, can we get the suit changed for him?
Yeah.
And she was about to say no because that's not like really a thing. And then she looked at me and I was like in a pool.
Oh my gosh.
And and she's like, okay. And she took it and then came back with just bone broth
Oh my gosh.
and like the leftover food that was
yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
And I was fine after that.
Damn.
But I was so embarrassed. And I think worse off, Vincent was kind of more embarrassed.
Were you Vincent? Yes.
Yeah. He
he
was
agrees.
like,
I would be
I can't
too.
take you here ever
I actually
again. I
would be
can't show
too.
my face here ever again. But we learned from that.
Yeah.
And now I know not to get mild. I'll get bone broth and just
Yeah.
add my own chilies.
Well, at least you
afterwards.
tried. So my friend, she came over last week and she cooked. She honestly just made Indonesian fried rice. It's just fried rice, but like their version. But so she gave it to me and my other friend who's like Singaporean, and she's like to us, "Is it too spicy?" And we're like, "No, it's like a nice kick." And she's like, "Oh, I can't make this for like her partner because her partner's like Anglo Aussie, and he finds it too spicy." And I was like, "No, like this is just."
I know someone that is Anglo.
And like spice?
No. That pepper is too much.
God.
It's way too much. So I'm like, oh.
I don't understand why countries colonize, like all these like Anglo countries colonize like spice countries, and they can't even handle the spices. Like I don't understand that.
It's the resources. It's the land.
What are they gonna do?
It's
like,
the land and the resources.
The land, yes, but
and
like,
the people and
the
slavery.
Even, like, yes, oh god. But like they can't even put the spice in their own food without breaking a sweat. So like,
but it's the slavery. It kind of just goes,
God.
well, you will cook me whatever I want you to cook me.
There's too many resources for them to not use anyway. But I just thought, like, thank God Jacob.
The British Museum.
Yeah, the British Museum. Thank God Jacob can handle a bit of spice because I have dated a white man that couldn't handle spice. It's not fun for your.
You've dated a white man that couldn't handle
a lot of things.
Color.
True. I finished White Lotus last week.
Yes, so did I. I finished it before you.
Yes, I had to wait for Jacob. But I love White Lotus because I love watching rich people have problems.
But like the least of their problem, like the smallest problems.
Spoiler alert, some people die. So like,
but that's the thing with White Lotus. It's the hook that gets you. Because I remember watching the first season, and I was like, okay, what is this show about?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but then someone dies, and like that's literally what kept me through the first season. Not because like the show was good, but every episode I wanted to know, who is it going to be? Is it going to be you? And like at the start, you don't know. It could be any single person. And in the first season, that's quite different in the third one where they kind of hint that there's danger around.
Yeah.
In the first season, you don't know. Like there's no danger.
Yeah,
until
you just
like
go with it.
Armand shits.
Yeah, you just go with
in
it.
the fucking luggage. And you're like, oh, so this is that kind of show. And he gets stabbed.
But how good is it? Because there's always some weird shit happening every season, right?
Yeah.
Like in the first season, I forget that guy. You didn't realize that he's like grooming his like star.
Yeah.
And then in the second season, what's the weird shit in the second season? I can't remember now.
Which one? It's the one in Italy.
Yeah.
So, it's the gays. The gays.
Oh my God,
the gays. Trying to kill her. Literally, actually trying to kill her.
That's so funny. Like, how fucking funny is that? And then the dialogue where she's like, the gays.
They're trying to kill me. It's good.
Love it. But we watched season 3. And yeah, I like this season too. I think the second season is my favorite. But
me too. I think so.
Yeah.
There's something about like that.
The gays.
Yeah. And her whole plot line leading to her death was funny because I was like, oh my God, she's in danger.
The death
and
was
she's
so funny.
The fucking death. She caused her own
I was
death.
like, oh my God, she escaped.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Yeah. And then it's so funny because in this season, her death is like part of the plot with Belinda and her.
It was like spirituality. Yeah.
Ex-husband.
Yeah.
Who's like in hiding or something.
Yeah.
Greg Gary.
Yeah, Greg/Gary.
Yeah. And I was like, but she didn't really kill her. Like no one killed her. She
killed
died.
Herself,
yeah.
But they don't know that.
Yeah,
because she was on the
true.
boat with people trying to kill her.
But then, I mean, if you look at the way people died, like people were shot. She was the only one that wasn't shot.
Yeah, she's so iconic.
Yeah.
I love her.
She was like, anyway.
But this season, episode 1 was great because you obviously know someone's going to die straight away.
Yeah.
So you're like, whoa, who's going to die?
Yeah.
And honestly, the whole season, Jacob was like, I think this is the shooter. He thought everyone was a shooter. And then...
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not a murder mystery. Don't treat it like it. The death is just there.
This is his first introduction to White Lotus.
Oh,
He's never watched no.
So he's actually like, this is a murder mystery to me.
So he's going to be like, this
Poor
is the shooter,
Jacob.
this is the shooter. And then he latched on to Rick because Jacob has an obsession with this. I don't know if it's a cartoon character or gaming character, Rick, but he like uses it for a lot of his accounts or whatever. So he was like, oh, Rick, he's a good guy. His name's Rick and he's like smart.
Idiot.
And I know, idiot. And I was like, Rick has mad daddy issues.
Yeah.
Like, bad.
Don't latch on to, like, after season 2, I learned, do not latch on to a single
Yeah,
character. Anyone's up
true.
for grabs.
That's true. My favorite character was Lori. Is that her name?
Ah, the curly hair, short curly hair,
yeah.
the one at the end was like, I love you guys.
Yeah, I hated that scene. But throughout the season, I was like, you're the realest one here.
She is the realest one.
Yeah.
But she's also like a bit sad with her life. And it kind of
Yes.
shows at the end that she was a bit
Yes.
sad. But that's because she like kind of saw herself as not as successful as her friends or as happy as her friends. But it's like all
But
her friends
neither
are like
yeah, her friends.
miserable. Like
They
the
were
other
just
one,
hiding it.
the other one literally cheated on her husband.
So with that trio of girls, it just reminds me of, honestly, like when white people have conversations with each other. That's what it was at the start. You know, when they'll be like,
It was very
what's you with you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're good. Oh,
yeah. It was very top level,
Yeah.
superficial.
Yeah, superficial surface level conversation.
Yeah, like your face looks good. Oh, okay.
And I'm like, bro, that's why I
Then
like
what?
Lori, because she was at least like, yeah, my life fucking sucks.
Yeah, and then she's drinking her wine, and
Yeah.
then like at the end of the first episode, where she stands from like her room,
Yeah, just
and then
watch
she
it.
just kind of like cries. I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
But I would also cry if I was talking to my friends like that because they're fucking boring.
Yeah, but I don't know if she was crying because of like
No, she cried
Oh,
because she felt she wasn't good enough.
exactly.
But really, it's just white people making you feel like you're not good enough because of what shit that they talk about.
Yeah,
But if you go deeper, you also realize they're fucking terrible.
yeah, which
miserable.
you kind of see in the next 7 episodes or 8
Yeah.
episodes that
Yeah.
one is a Trump supporter
Oh yeah.
coded.
That was really funny when they were like, "Are you a
Did you?
conservative?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
And it's just like, let's not talk about him right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, obviously you voted.
yeah,
And then the other one is very insecure
yeah," because
about
she's
her
a movie
looks
star
and yeah.
and her age.
And she's like married to someone half her age.
Yeah, and then yeah, I don't like her. She was probably one of my least favorite characters.
So they're all flawed in some
Yeah.
way. So none of them are actually like Miss Perfect.
No,
I did like that though. It
The
was like,
trio,
yeah,
yeah.
and I'm kind of glad they're all alive. So like,
Yeah,
I think this, and we're talking about like the real people, but the 7 days that they had was quite an opening
a lot of things happened in 7 days.
for them. And that could either like, they'll either, and I think they'll either go back to their lives and just like kind of be a bit different,
Maybe
but not too much. Like it's enough for them to kind of see each other and
they
realize,
trauma bonded through almost getting shot at.
yeah.
That's what happened.
But that was like at the last 5 minutes.
But that's
of the
what
episode.
like that's why they were like, okay, we're gonna be good again because
Yeah.
you shared that experience together.
yeah. And then the family.
Saxon, actually, I liked him at the end.
Oh yeah,
At the
that's-
start, I was like, every season there's a douchebag. on
Yeah,
White
so it was like
Lotus.
Theo James
Oh,
last
Theo
with
James
his
is- oh.
prosthetic penis.
But Patrick Schwarzenegger also.
Yes.
Yeah.
The men in season 2 are hotter, I would say.
The Asian guy is into. I don't even know his name.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, I don't even know his name. But
I was
yeah,
looking
cool.
at him the other day,
Great.
and I was like, delicious.
Yeah,
I
yeah. They're just. yeah.
forgot his name,
I also
but
forgot his name.
yeah, I was like, I remember like him taking his shirt off, and I was like,
Yeah, great.
wow. And then
Great.
them fighting at the beach, I was like, this is not for. This is for the gays right here
And the women.
and the women.
Yeah,
I
mean the creator is gay, isn't he? I'm pretty
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
I think so. Mike White.
Yeah, but Saxon had the biggest like arc
Change.
redemption. I reckon.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if they were gonna die. To be honest, like the dad was gonna kill them all.
So TikTok I was watching this TikTok about how TikTok ruined White Lotus for her
Yeah.
because so many people had theories and they all ended up like
Being right.
yeah, accurate. And
when
I was
you have theories, some will end up being right, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Like,
but like most of the
listen to
time, no.
podcasts.
But the thing with White Lotus is no one really gets most of the theories correct.
no, because
Like no one could assume Belinda was going to kill herself because she tripped
oh, you mean
from like last season.
yeah.
But this season, everyone was like on point.
Yeah, because everyone was treating it like a murder mystery this time
Yeah.
around. Whereas, and it kind of felt like it, but also there was a looming danger from the start. Like when Rick was kind of like eyeing the hotel owner,
Yeah.
and like heard that, you know, obviously they're married to this rich guy, and
Yeah.
it's like that was episode 1, and you're like, oh fuck, he's here for something.
Yeah.
And then the Ratliffs, the family, and he's like whole fucking going to prison when he gets back.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh god, like about to like he had the gun. Like he had the gun by like episode 3,
Oh, speaking of the fucking god.
which is useless.
True.
But like there was like him like hallucinating, shooting his family, shooting himself. There was
Yeah.
like real danger put into place very early in this season, which made people go and treat it more like a murder mystery.
True.
Whereas in season 1, you kind of forgot someone was gonna die until Armand got stabbed, and you're
Yeah,
like,
that's
"Oh
true.
shit,
Because season 1, you
he's the
kind of
one
just
that
like,
dies."
it's just white people problems.
Yeah,
That's what
white
I think
people
about.
problems. And season 2 was also that. Like, it's kind of like white people problems. And what's good about this show is that people have this existential experience, but most of them will just go back to the way
Of
things
course,
were.
that's always, but that's such white people shit right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like, you know, when people go to fucking Costa Rica or Bali or like India and they go to a wellness retreat.
You and your wellness.
Because
this
it's the
is
same. No, but this season's very
Justice
spiritual.
for Hazel.
This is spirituality this season.
It
But
is.
it's like literally all of them will be like, oh my God, I was so moved. I'm going to use my friend as an example. I love you, Lisa. She went to India.
Yeah.
For
Sorry, I thought I got
something.
lost as like Lisa, as in like Lisa from Blackpink.
Oh no, we'll talk about her too. But no, my friend Lisa went to India
Yeah.
and then now she's back in Germany and I don't know, the hustle's there again.
Yeah, of course.
So
because
like it doesn't change that much. It helps you relax. But when you go back to reality,
you still got to pay your bills. You still got to turn up to your job.
you just have to change the mindset completely. Like the monks in the show, you know, you just gotta like detach yourself from these things.
Yeah,
That's how you
and the
learn.
thing is, but they're living life not poor, but like I'm sure they're rich in their own way, but they're not like lavish like the rat list, you know, they're not
Yeah.
tended to, they're just living
Well,
life.
more,
And
more
that's-
money, more problems.
Exactly. And that's probably
That's
like
what happened to them.
that's like a lesson in that show though. More money, more problems.
Well, speaking of fucking more money, more problems, the brother incest scene.
love that. Loved it because I know they weren't brothers in real life.
No,
like,
I
know
know.
it's like sick, but like we've seen Game of Thrones. Like, come on.
I know, but it was just funny because everyone reacted like, and I'm like, bro, Cersei was literally getting fucking railed by
Yeah,
Jamie.
and then
it-
pushed the kid down the
yeah,
tower.
there's like, and they had 3 children together.
Exactly.
But I think everyone was a bit more like, oh my God, with this one because they're brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah, not like one girl, one boy. If
Yeah.
it was like Saxon
It was
and
like
Piper,
double.
it'd be a bit like, oh, that's weird, but it's like,
Yeah, it's like
Right.
double whammy for
Yeah.
the people, the Christians.
Yeah.
Who are like, not only is it incest, it's gay incest. You know what I mean?
but at first I was like, so when the scene came on, I kind of already knew because fucking TikTok spoiled it for me, but Jacob did it. So I was like, ooh. And Jacob was like, oh, they're having a threesome. And I
Yeah.
was like, no, rewind.
No,
And
but they like showed different
He
angles of the
didn't,
scene.
because at the start it didn't
Ah,
show it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was like, look at his arm. And Jacob's like, nah, I don't reckon. I reckon he's wanking himself. And then when they showed the reveal,
The reveal.
Jacob's like, what the fuck? But it's funny because Jacob's got a brother. So I was teasing him a lot. I was like, oh, that's weird. Imagine if you and Harry were like this. It was just like, stop.
I said the same thing to Vincent.
Yeah.
And he couldn't
And
imagine.
his brother lives with him.
Yeah, he couldn't imagine. He was like, what if that was you? And he was like, that's fucking weird. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's a TV show.
And they're brothers. Yeah.
So I like that. I was like, this. It was funny. I thought it was funny because he was like, it felt kind like throughout the start of the season, Saxon kind of felt like he had the advantage over Lachlan.
Yeah.
But in this scene, Lachlan had like full advantage,
I feel like
and he
it,
kind of like changed the
it.
balance, and it changed Saxon as well. He somehow turned into
that's what I
fucking
mean. I think it made him find God.
yeah, or spirituality,
Spirituality,
and
yeah.
kind of like look at his life and be like, what the fuck have I been doing?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it literally brought him back to earth.
So are you saying that people like finance bros should just get jerked off by
By their
their siblings?
I'm not saying that. But I'm saying when a traumatic
It
thing,
helps.
it helps. But I'm saying when something traumatic happens to you, it brings you back down to earth.
Again, it's like it's wild, but it's like not the most traumatic thing in the world. Like they don't die.
No, they don't
They
die.
nearly get
but
killed by their
like,
dad though.
true. But it's hard for you to say, like, because you're an only child, so it's
Oh, yeah,
like
that's true.
different.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you talk to someone with siblings, they'd be like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?" That's
Because they
weird as
actually have to
fuck.
imagine
Yeah,
it.
and
Whereas
that
I
is
have nothing
traumatic
to
for
imagine
them.
it with
Exactly.
anyone.
No, different.
What about Mook and
Ugh.
Guy Talk?
Fucking terrible characters.
I like Guy Talk, but I think
liked him at the start, but then I was like, get your fucking dick out of your ass and stop staring at Mook and do your job.
well, Mook is pretty.
Yeah,
but she's
but
also like she kind of set him up to be a killer.
She's a true Southeast Asian trying to get a better life.
Oh yeah, 100%. And she will like be like, you need to be a security guard. You need to.
Yeah, she's like, you're gonna quit your job. I don't want to go on a date with you.
Yeah, that was wild. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, but also I
Girls
kind of
should-
felt sorry for him
I felt very sorry for
because
him.
then was she really into him, or was she really
That's what
into the
I-
thought of what he could achieve?
That's why I felt bad for him, because he really liked her, but I think she just wants him to be rich.
Yeah, so that she could stop being
Profit
a
off of that. Yeah.
fucking White Lotus staff, which at the end of the day does not seem that bad.
Yeah. So I wasn't vibing Mook. I think Mook was a bit boring. And she just honestly, her character was just to show that people in that culture, not specifically Thai, but just like Southeast Asia, they
Yeah.
just want your money. And they want to
Yes.
progress in the world.
And I was very sad for Guy Talk when he was like kind of contemplating whether to shoot Rick.
Yeah, I think he
And
was.
then because I didn't think he was going to. I thought, okay, well, Chelsea's the dead person, and the security guards are the dead bodies floating,
yeah.
and this is it. This is gonna be Rick's kind of like sadness, is the fact that he loses Chelsea because
Yeah.
of his temper and the fact that he couldn't just like deal with his issues his whole life, that he
Yeah.
had to shoot this old man who turns out to be his dad anyway, which was kind of fucking obvious.
It's so obvious.
Very Star Wars-esque.
yeah.
And also like towards like this bit here, like I think that's why a lot of people like it was kind of like one of those seasons where people liked it but it wasn't their favorite, is because everything kind of could have been avoided if you just did this, or someone just didn't say it that way.
Yeah.
Like if the dad, the hotel owner, didn't come back and say your dad's wasn't
piece
a
of shit,
yeah,
yeah.
your dad was like not a nice man.
Yeah.
Like he was talking about himself. Why don't you just say, hey, why don't we just have a chat?
But I think that's the psychology about it, is that Rick and Chelsea, actually, side note before I get into this, Jacob was like, come on, Rick, just go up to him, open his jacket and get the gun. And then he did the
He
exact
did,
thing.
yeah.
And I was like to Jacob, you play too many fucking gun games.
Yeah.
That's how you knew that.
Yeah, but also, like, it killed him in the end.
I know, but that's a cycle, because I watch White Lotus through a psychological lens.
Yeah.
That's why I can see all perspectives of what's happening,
Mhm.
which is why Chelsea and Rick, oh my God, deadly pairing.
Deadly
Because
pairing, because she says that she admits it herself. She was
she
like,
needs to fix him.
yeah, but all, yeah, I thought of you when she said that.
Well, true, because I was sort of thinking about it my younger, not even like recent relationships though. It's my younger
Yeah,
self.
yeah.
Because you actually think that if you changed him or fix him, then he'll love you. But really,
Yes.
it's just because Rick is so unattached to his own emotions.
Yeah,
He
here's the
can't handle
problem.
it.
Yeah.
That's why he can't show
Yeah.
love.
And then she says something like, oh, we're the yin and the yang, and one of us, oh no, he's pain and I'm something,
Yeah, I remember that.
but one of us has to win. And I was like,
That was
oh,
weird. That was toxic
Yeah,
as fuck.
that was toxic.
I've
And-
never said that ever in
And
my
guess
life.
what won? Pain.
Yeah, they're both dead.
They're both dead.
No, but then so Rick is the way he said, and then like go back to Jim, the dad. Like he would never be able to say he's the father because he's got the same problem as Rick, with emotionally they're just so fucking closed off. 'Cause
Yeah.
they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So they just shut it down, and it's easier to talk like that than to be like, "Hey, man, I'm your dad. I'm really sorry I fucked you up."
Yeah, but you don't even have to say sorry for like. I mean, yeah, I guess there was a mistake there, but at the end of the day, it was Rick's mom that came up with this story,
Yeah,
which
but
was.
that's to protect Rick.
But was it?
Yeah, because he just fucked off to Thailand.
No, but like, was it to protect? Why would it?
And
have
also be
protect him?
revengeful too, because Rick would be like, "Who's your dad? Who's my dad?" And he'd be like, "Well, your dad's dead," rather than be like, "Well, your dad didn't want to stay here with
Yeah,
you."
but she didn't say your dad's dead.
Or your
He
dad
said
got
your dad
killed.
got killed by this man who was actually your dad.
And maybe he was a version of him, like killed a version of him.
Oh well, that's toxic right there.
But
I mean, like
that's-
he's been set up to die.
Yeah, but that's psychology.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When people have trauma, they can't handle just talking honestly and assertively. So they make up dumb shit like, "This was all your father's fault. Your father got killed by this man."
Yeah.
Etc. Etc. And same with Rick. Like he just fucks off. He can't just go to Chelsea and be like, "Yeah, I'm actually just fucked up." Like
Yeah.
decide
But
to
he was
be-
like, there was a point where he was kind of getting there with the Indian lady. Because
yeah,
he was kind of helping him kind
yeah. I think that was the theme
sort
of it.
through. And then at the end, when he was like, I need to see you, and she was like, I'm about to see another
He was having a
person.
panic attack.
Like that all just kind of led to this. But had he gone and seen her instead, he would still. Everyone would probably still be alive,
Yeah,
and
but
then we wouldn't have the start of the episode.
he was having a panic attack at that point.
Yeah.
But side note, my other favorite character is Rick's friend, whose name I forgot.
Oh, yeah, the bald guy.
So apparently, I was watching interviews, but you know the scene when he was like, "I wanted to be an Asian girl."
Yeah.
Fucking iconic. I love that. But apparently they just made that up like before they started filming. It wasn't like scripted like properly.
Yeah.
It was just an idea between Rick and that guy.
Yeah.
To be like, I think we should talk about it this way. And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I think they're friends in real life.
Yeah. So he just started like talking about it. Like, yeah, I realized I wanted to be fucked like an Asian girl.
Yeah. That was full on. I was like, wow, this is enlightenment.
I thought when they were partying that the guy was going to go to Rick to be like, because you know how he had Asian girls in the room with them, like Asian prostitutes, Thai prostitutes. I thought he was going to go to Rick to be like, all right, it's time for you to fuck me now.
Oh, I don't think that was their friendship.
No, but because they were so cooked and he's opened up.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So then it's like testing the boundaries.
Yeah.
To be like, I've been vulnerable to you. Now I'm
so
inviting
wild.
you to join me.
But that whole monologue is so, it felt so real. You didn't think that this man was acting or lying. Like it just felt like he was actually telling you what has gone through in his life.
Yeah.
That whole and I got like someone else watching me and I could see her in me.
Yeah.
And I was her. And
yeah,
I was
iconic.
like,
I loved it. I loved it. That with the gays are trying to kill me.
Yeah.
They're my favorite scenes.
They are really good. And that's like worthy an award.
Yeah.
And then the last people I wanted to talk about was Belinda.
I don't
and-
like Belinda.
Really? Is it because she's black?
No, my cousin's half black. I'm not racist.
No. Why don't you like her?
At first, I liked her, but then I realized, I don't know. I think it was just a good way to tie up the seasons together. But I think her storyline for me was just a bit like, and also to bring Greg in, obviously, because like you have two characters from the
First
previous
season.
seasons
Yeah.
to come back.
Yeah.
But I was just like, okay, like it is what it is with Belinda. Like, yeah, she got her money, her hush money, and she can open her spa. But I was just like,
Yeah, that's the end of her
that's the
storyline,
end
I
of it.
think.
I was like, there's nothing much else to it. So I think it was
Yeah.
just a bit boring for me.
I get what you mean. It kind of shows what money
her son,
does, though.
Yeah, her son was even worse. I was just like, he's in the first episode and the last episode. Like, this man just is.
He comes in a bit earlier than that, though.
Oh yeah, but there's nothing much else to him.
No. Oh, apparently.
They had
and
sex.
Well, hold on. You sound like the mum and the
No,
son.
no,
of it.
Piper.
Piper
Yeah,
and him
had sex.
like,
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
And I was like, why did they cut that? Because that would have been actually an interesting storyline.
Yeah, because now it just seems like the son, what's his name, Zion, was just like
weird fucking name.
yeah, fucking hate that name, but randomly just there, and there's like nothing much else besides bargaining for his mum.
Yeah, and so in the TikTok where I read that or whatever, the real where I like that was in, the comments was like that would have been like a great way of passing the wealth, of switching the wealth,
Yes,
which is so true.
that's true. So yeah, I think that storyline, it was a nice finish, but I thought it was just a bit boring. But I didn't like the mum for most of the season. What's her name?
Victoria.
Yes.
I like how the way she just says things.
Yeah, the way she says things, like, when she's like, there was that one line where she's like, I don't know if I have it in me.
Oh, that's fucking relatable.
That is
as
Jacob's
hell.
mom. Like, the moment she said that, I looked at Jacob, I was like, oh my God, this is your mom.
I don't know if I have it in me to live an uncomfortable life.
I
at
mean,
my
that's
age.
me right now. Not even
And
at her
was
age.
and I was like, damn, this is a meme. And you bet the next
became
day it was
meme.
freaking everywhere.
But it was just the way she said it. I was like, yeah, I can't live an uncomfortable life too, but like they're living a more like comfortable
Their
life. than
life
me.
is the most comfortable thing. Like there's the thing in one of those episodes where the dad on the phone was like, all I got was 10 million for this. And I was like, he made it sound like it was barely
I mean, to be
anything.
fair, he committed a crime.
A
For
crime.
10 million, it's not a lot of money,
Well,
but it's a lot of money for us. But
for us, yeah.
For
Belinda
money
only got
laundering-
5
Yeah, true.
to just stay quiet.
But for money laundering, it's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money. Yeah, I enjoyed her character. Like as a human being,
It's terrible.
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 Terrible. As a character you like to watch, amazing. Like just
I really
her
liked her one-liners.
at the her at the party where she's talking to like the Thai girl, and she was like, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Why are you
Are you with
with?"
it? Yeah. That was pretty funny.
And then she's like the boat people, and
Yeah.
then when she was ordering Thai food,
Yeah, she did so well.
ah,
I was like, I'm shocked that she spoke Thai so well when she ordered Thai food.
and then when she was like to Piper, "Yeah, I'll support you if you stay here the night," knowing full well her daughter could not do that.
Yeah.
And then Piper just cries the next day, being like, "I can't live an uncomfortable life."
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't also live the way that she was living there.
Yeah, but she was also like she just wanted
She
to
was,
be different,
She was just a white person trying to use spirituality to feel
excite her
something.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
excite something.
because her whole life, everything's been given to
Yeah.
her, or like she's been tended to, and again lived a comfortable life that she thought, oh, maybe it's my spirituality. Maybe if I did this, my life would be better, or I would change, or my mindset would change. And then she spends a night, and she couldn't even handle the vegetarian food, and the fact that there was
Yeah.
no AC.
Yeah,
And the
I mean,
fact, yeah, like the
I
fact
can't
that the
handle no
bedrooms were
AC
small,
either. Nah.
and I'm like, go the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, you chose this life, which is exactly why I don't choose that life, because I know
Yeah,
I can't handle it.
exactly. And then like if you're gonna say it, if you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, do it.
Yeah.
Do
But
it. And
no.
maybe you'll actually learn something. Anyway, they're not like real people, but it's the same thing. Same thing happened in the first season, basically.
Sure.
with
But it reminds me of my ex-boyfriend, not Stickman, the other one. Because that family reminds
rich
me of
one.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mum really reminds me of his mum. And
Yeah.
also
It's giving.
it's giving that, and
Yeah.
also Piper reminds me of his siblings. So yeah, that like the whole
So does Saxon remind you of him?
nah, he's not that douchey. Oh, actually no, yes, towards the end, the spirituality part, yes.
Okay.
Because he was very like, I think he was just depressed, to be honest. But he was going through like trying to figure out what the fuck's wrong with him, reading all this self-help shit. And I'm like, bro, I can tell you what's wrong with you. But yeah,
But I can fix him.
I know. Moral of the story, I did not fix him.
One of
And-
us will win.
I won. That's all I have to say. But yeah.
Oh, it's coming back next season. Oh, it's coming back for another season.
Yeah, it's speculated to be in Mauritius. Because 4 seasons is closed for 7 months in Mauritius.
Is it? That'll be nice. But like,
Vincent's just giving me looks.
well,
His
I'll
head
go.
turned around so fast. But yeah, they're
He loves
closed.
the White Lotus.
Closed for 7 months. That's a long time to be closed.
Yeah, I can't like. I'm shocked that that took 6 months to film. I mean, not shocked, but I was like, oh damn, like 7 episodes, 8 episodes, 6 months.
Yeah.
That's a lot of filming in Thailand.
True.
And like in the back, like they were told they couldn't like get a tan because it's meant to be just 7 days, which
Yeah.
is true. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. But how shit would it be that you can't even experience Thailand at like a certain level because you can't go out and experience
True.
with the sun?
I mean, they can do it afterwards. But if I was there for
Yeah, but
7
then you're like
days,
7 months of filming, and then afterwards you kind of just want to go
True.
home.
I guess so. But if we were there for 7 days, we would be tanned in 1 day.
Oh, 100%.
In 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I would still be outside for the 7 months. I'd be like, sorry, but I mean, this is naturally how I
Yeah,
am.
we within like 2 seconds
Yeah.
would be darker
Yeah.
than black.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. I think we're going to talk about that. That's it.
That's it. That's done. We're done here.
Okay.
Rick died. Chelsea died. Sad, but it is what it is.
I liked Chelsea when she wasn't with Rick. But also,
Oh, as in when Rick was in Bangkok.
yes, but I
Okay.
just liked them in her part. But also, I definitely did see myself in Chelsea, like a younger version of myself in Chelsea, because when he was in Bangkok and she was just like on her phone, like, oh my god, where is he? Where are you? And then she couldn't even enjoy herself. In the movie.
Crazy.
So yeah, girls, just don't do it. He's not worth it. He's gonna kill you.
Or cause you to die. Yes.
Yeah, so basically he killed you.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's it for today.
Thanks for listening. I didn't expect that White Lotus bit to go for a long time, but we had a lot of things.
No, that's fine.
today.
There's a lot of thoughts, and it was 3 seasons. Well, if you enjoyed listening, thank you. We'll see you next week. But subscribe, obviously, or follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Hazel and Marion. And we're on YouTube at Hazel and Marion as well. Plus the video, so you're probably watching us as well.
Sure.
Anything else?
5 stars only. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Anyway, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.